video, I remember saying, man, like if I had this thought back then, and I would like maybe he might not have been crucified because I would have cut everybody. So and then I read this part, and it was like right after he gave him the keys to the kingdom, he was like, that's what Simon Peter said to Jesus, and then he said, "Get behind me, Satan, because you have only the mind of man in mind, not the mind of God," you know? And so I was like, what? But then looking back too, what has changed? Like, you know, Peter didn't have the resurrection yet. I did, so don't worry, I'm not Satan, but do you see how I'm in line with what is accordant to the truth? Like, it baffles me too. I'm like, boom, right? Like, my brain just like, poosh. So I'm, like I said, I'm not a teacher. I'm being taught too. And when it comes out, when the teacher is coming out, I'm still listening to myself talk. And that's why sometimes you'll see me go on tangents or like stop and forget where I was. Because I'm like, comes out, and then I'm also in your guys' place thinking about like, oh, and then you try and have like a eureka moment in one side going boom, 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 and then try to go back to this old sound. That's why it's like, oh, what was I talking about? And then I have to go back. So that's, anyway. Jesus had said, well, you're going to deny me 3 times before the rooster crows. 3 times again, right? Before the cock crows. And that means 3 times before the day happens again, right? And so he said, on the Matthew 26, 70, then verse 72 and 74. So 1, he denied it before them all, right? Then 2, he denied it with an oath. And then 3, he called down curses on himself and he swore to them that he did not know the Christ. So do you see how he slowly went deeper and deeper into a darkness of denial? And then then the rooster crowed, then he remembered what Jesus said, and he goes outside and weeps bitterly. And remember, everyone who is weeping and gnashing of teeth and being all like sad and stuff, they're all outside. And so that was a sign for us to know that the sign of Jonah will also be such as this, you know? And then it says, so Jesus went to the Mount of Olives to pray, right? Because he knew that the guards was coming. And so he only selected like a couple of his disciples, and one of them was Simon Peter, to come with him. And then he said, watch while I pray, because my spirit is of sorrow and I feel like I'm going to die. And so Jesus comes back down, and then chapter 26, verse 40, the disciples were sleeping. 1, right? And he's like, what? And he's like, pray that you resist temptation. And then if you read over here in the Signs of the Age of Matthew 24, it says at the beginning of after they ask the questions, he says, watch out that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name claiming I am the Christ and will deceive many, right? So 1, the disciples pray that you resist temptation, that nobody deceives you, that you don't fall asleep with the heavy eye, yeah? Because many will deceive you. And that means also people like your brothers and sisters by accident, because they don't realize that they have that heavy eye too. And then the second time Jesus came back was Matthew 26:43, and they were sleeping again, and that's when he said they have the heavy eye, right? And then Jesus comes back again on the 45, and this time, this is what you need to read and see where you are in your walk along this whole thing. Is on 45, Jesus then asks them, are you still sleeping and resting? ? So we don't know if they were sleeping or not, right? We could look at it as Jesus came back and was exasperated, like, you guys are still sleeping? You know how people say that, and it's like a ? Exclamation. This one is just a question mark, and it says, are you still sleeping and resting? He's asking them like that. So they could have been alert, but maybe they weren't even aware that this was about to happen. And then he says, look, the hour is near, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of the sinners, right? And so it's like, are you still sleeping? Because you gotta look, the hour is near. The hour is near. So look right now to see if you're sleeping, because the kingdom of God is near, closer than you think. It's right outside the threshold. It's clandestinely coming. And if you look at the signs of the times, everything is in accordance right now. And so that's what I wanted to say about that cognitive dissonance with the sign of Jonah, and that what my goal is to do is to get whoever hears my words in a sense of resonance, recognition, resonance, so that you are not off tune and going to the beat of an off tune thinking that it's the correct tune and that that's the awesome song and singing it out of tune with everybody else who's also off tune, but cranking just a little bit, just a small little bit of an excerpt that brings you to the correct tune, and then you'll realize that one, you were off, and then two, you have to fix your voice, the way that you're looking at things. Open your eyes a little bit wider so that you could see that there was something even more that you had been missing, and because of that, you weren't fulfilling your faith. So when all these times, when all the alignment came, that will be perfect for you to now show your fruits, you have something that you can give back. And then they're like, yes, that's what I'm looking for. You did good. And then you are then sealed. Boom, right? And you're saved throughout the tribulations. So that was that. The next thing is about the rapture, right? That word is the thing I'm trying to get rid of, because that is the key to helping everybody, as many people as possible, to awaken out of the Dorothy sleep, out of the heavy eye, okay? Because since this awesome spirit of wisdom and help and discernment and caution has come about, I can't be deceived. And because of that, I can see below the ground. I can see the bigger picture that people keep missing, and the majority keep missing. And so that's why I am almost like cultural pariah. All my words, a lot of people are going to disagree because they go back into loops, right? They go back into circles. Because of that, I can look underneath and see where the mother root is. And this mother root of this rapture is the cognitive dissonance. This is the poison that has gone and infiltrated under everybody's roots, and they don't understand that why this is happening. But when it comes to pass, what was expected never comes, but then they're still stuck along all of the subroots, because that mother root of cognitive dissonance is slowly strangling, withering your roots, and because now I can see it, I can help everybody, and I'm going to do that. Like, I'm going to keep doing this until we punch holes within this big huge blanket over us, and then the light of truth will shine down, and you can ascend, you can expand. And when that happens, you'll know what's next step the world is going to do, because they're going to be desperate. They're going to understand that we are way better than that, and they better stop us. So they're going to be starting killing us and trying to get everyone against us who, in cognitive dissonance, will believe what they say, and then the world's going to hate us. Anyway, so that's what this rapture word. So that's why I say approval, or even enrapturement, because it's close enough. But it's this huge bliss, and yeah. So that was that. And becoming a social pariah. Matthew 21:24. Jesus told them about he said, haven't you read in the scriptures, the stone the builders rejected has become the capstone. The Lord has done this, and it is marvelous in our eyes, right? But check it out. There's a question mark after that. Marvelous in our eyes. So it's like, the stone the builders rejected has become the capstone. A capstone is a finishing stone. And so this finishing stone is the stone that everyone thought was not right. Okay? And so I'm showing you, like, what I'm bringing to you in this sense is, this is the capstone to fulfilling your faith. You're so close. You're so close. But because it keeps pushing you back, you are only living on spiritual milk. You have teeth now. We have spiritually matured to a point that we could have something a little bit more firm in our truth, and live it, act it, breathe it, and so that you can then fulfill your faith, be just a little bit more faith, and which will then get you to your own approval. Because that's where it lies. A rapture is not going to come like that. We have we have mixed up what happens when we're all in a blink of an eye, get disappeared, and then like we're risen to the sky. We got that mixed up. That's not the rapture. The rapture is now depends on you. That's why there's no date or time. It depends on you. You have to make yourself right for the season. You have to make sure that you have the fruits, so that when things like this come about and align, because there's only certain times that it will happen. Like how everybody was saying with the Pentecost, rapture's coming around because this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. Because of the fact that it was aligned, that was your time when it was they were hangry, kind of. They were on their thing, watching us, and we were doing our thing, growing. But then that alignment was like, like a bridge almost, where you could present yourself, and if you had the fruit, you would be boom, you'd be stamped, you'd be sealed, you'd have the signet ring, the Son of God, the Holy Spirit, right? You'd be saved. Everything that you've been working for, you accomplished it. And so that's where the evil one, the enemy, the spirit of dissonance gets everybody, because they're so close. They're right there at the door. It's right there at your door. But instead of producing the fruit, because you've already done you might have done all the what God had wanted you to do, and accomplished it, but then you went off like Jonah and was like angry about it, but not like angry, but you were expecting something. And you can't expect. The Lord is your shepherd, you shall not want. You don't expect it. That's why it says don't be alarmed about the signs and stuff. Just be on alert. And alertness is so that you are cautious of what is happening around you. So when you see their voice speaking, you know that I don't have to now hurry up and be in fear that I'm not going to be accepted. Because that's what the rapture does to people subtly. But you have to say, that's what they said, and now you're prepared to react and action. You're not forcing yourself into it because you think, I have to. You've been already doing it, and in that sense, then you will pop up a fruit in your fig tree. And